Yo, yo, yo. Damn, that was a weird ass noise. You heard that shit? Yo, 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 what the fuck is up? It's Baheezy from the Young Extraordinaires, one half of the Young Extraordinaires. And I wanted to talk about my mastery build, what works for me. Maybe give a little 2 cents on the masteries. Um, I know there's already videos out there like Scenes. He gives a good ass insightful description. Let me get right to it. So this boy crazy. So that was my buddy that I messaged. Um, so if you see anything with 1 point in it, that's pretty much a stepping stone just to get to the next mastery. I threw 3 into Pierce because ultimately that 15% damage you're doing uh, against their armor, whether it's just their normal armor or right armor up, you just kind of want that, you know. You kind of just want that reassurance that you're gonna do that extra damage against it. Courage, definitely, you know, throw 3 into courage. Whether you're starting off in the game, you want to throw 3 into courage because at some point in time, whether you're taking block damage, let's say you're just in Act 6 already, you're doing some of the variants, you're doing Labyrinth, Realm, or Abyss of Legends, you're gonna take that block damage, and let's say eventually that block damage they wear you down past 50%, or let's say you're fighting, and then you just fuck up somehow, and they clip you, right? And then they drop you past 50%. You're going to get that incentive of doing 20% more damage against them. So when you do recover, it'll be swift, hit them hard, and then hopefully you win that fight. Normal precision and normal cruelty. You get that crit damage from both of those at a way higher scale than if you just threw them all in, like if you threw 5 into lesser. So again, every champ's gonna do crit damage. So to boost it up for champs who their crits pretty much on the lower end of the spectrum, you want them to have that reassurance where, okay, they're a shitty champ, but at least they can handle themselves in your roster. And the champs that already excel at crits, you're just going to enhance them to the next level. They're going to be animals. Someone like Ghost, perfect example. Her crits, insanely ridiculous. So throw 5 of those. The bitch is fucking doing numbers. I'll tell you that. She's doing numbers. I was never really a whole suicides kind of guy. I know there's people who run suicides if they're doing something difficult, whether it's high levels of war, high levels of quest. You're doing Act 6, you're doing some of the labyrinths, realms, abyss, variants, things like that. One thing I did do is I threw 3 into glass cannon because this game is not a game where like fights are stretched out like crazy. So for example, if you're doing some of those higher difficulty things that I mentioned, you might run into a fight where it might take like, let's say 2 minutes, but realistically one individual fight is not taking more than 1 minute. If you're finishing, let's say, a fight in like 45 seconds or less, it's better to sacrifice that portion of health because then you're gonna finish that fight even quicker than 45 seconds. If it is kind of those longer fights, you're still doing that additional 7.2% attack damage. Despair. I threw 3 into Despair because of the obvious, you know, debuffs applied to enemies reduce their healing and regeneration effects by 15%. So whether it's them on a node, just natural crazy healers, like for example, let's say Realm of Legends Wolverine, things like that. At least a portion of that 15% is reduced. Some champs are a pain, so why not take that extra reassurance, you know? Deep wounds, I'm a huge bleed champ person. I love all my bleach champs. That's pretty much my main roster. So that 2.5 second is just clutch for me. Realistically, that's the best I could word it. It's self-explanatory. It makes a difference. You notice the difference of your bleeds lasting, especially when you dump all the points into it. Uh, Moving on to defense, I threw one into Salve because it's not as much compared to this 15%. I threw four into block proficiency because whether you're just blocking or you're taking block damage or parry, like you just want that reassurance, and by 800, you notice the difference. So proficiencies, again, the mains, this is the reason why they put parry fucking first now, is because when you do that perfect block, max out fucking parry, you get that 25% additional damage taken away. So, like, you're taking less on the fucking block damage, which is good. But on top of that, the obvious stun, you max it out, you get that 2 seconds. Come on. I threw one into Limb for a stepping stone so I could get to the other ones. Stupefy. So again, when you do that parry or just your champs naturally do a stun, you want that half a second extra. Petrify. What I did is I maxed out Petrify because when they are stunned, you reduce their regen rate by 30% and power gain from attacking them up to 30% duration. So again, you tie that into despair, and I feel like both of those kind of hand in hand. Dex, mandatory. Like the two um, main masteries out of anything. Like let's say you got 6 masteries, right? You're barely starting off the game. You got 6 mastery points. Actually, let's say you're 8th because you're gonna need the stepping stone one. So let's say you got 8 masteries, right? Or 7 masteries, you're barely gonna get your 8th. What you wanna do is you're gonna fucking grab those 7, throw 3 into here, 1 as a fucking stepping stone, and the other 3 straight into Dex. Parry and Dex is what you need in the game. So Dex, it allows you to dash back and you're gonna not get hit, and when you don't get hit, you get that additional 950% crit damage. So for that one hit you smack them, if you hit that crit, it's gonna smack hard. And if you already combine that with the maxed out of the cruelty and precision, yeesh. So pacify, this is the last one. So when your champions inflict stun, debuffs, they also reduce enemy ability accuracy by 30% for the duration of the stun. So again, that's also going to tie into the despair, where they're just going to left hand washes the right hand. So the more you can reduce champs from triggering their buffs and things like that, or triggering their abilities, and all of that jazz, why not? Why not capitalize on it? But that pretty much closes out my mastery build. You could take my mastery build for what it is. You could copy it. You could take what you like, take what you don't like. Because ultimately, there's no concrete, you make this mastery build, and this mastery build is going to get you through every variant. It's going to get you through all of the story. It's going to get you through all of war, all of questing. There's just not one definitive. So that's why people constantly switch up. But I really haven't felt the need to switch up my mastery too much. To be honest with you, I think my build's kind of a decent build. I'm not going to use this little thing as an example. I just want to burn out some energy. I'm about to close out this video because it was mostly for the mastery builds. I want to give my mastery build a try. try, test it out. If you don't like it, trash it, you know. But I'm gonna close out here. Young extraordinaires, but easy, logging out. Be back for another motherfucking video. Hopefully, because you know today's Friday. Might get a video with J Fiend. You know, it might be his video. Like both of us will be in the camera, so you'll see us juking and jiving. You know, doing what we do. But yeah, it'll probably be his gameplay. You know, it'll probably be his gameplay. Him showing off his champs. You know, introducing himself. See if I can get him to show his mastery build. Yeah, it's fucking easy. Half of the young extraordinaires. Back later with fucking J Fiend shit.